Hello, welcome to this session of Character and Viewpoint. I am Justine here. In this session, we shall be talking about how to bring characters to life. Readers want to identify with characters and care about their successes and failures. The trick is to create characters so they come alive on the page. Fully live characters leap off the page and draw in the reader. We become fascinated by them and want to spend time with them, care about their hopes and fears. Now, how do you bring characters to life when you're writing a crime story? There are 7 ways to bring characters to life. Number 1, draw from your experience. Reveal emotions by using body language, inner sensations, character thoughts. Illogical behavior, quirks and flaws. Give characters unique voices. Create a complex antagonist. Honor your victim. Let's start with draw from your own experience. To create live, dynamic, and interesting characters, you need to draw on your experience of life and creatively add to it. Bring your unique understanding of people to your story. You can do that by incorporating aspects of yourself into the story. For example, a situation or an incident from your life. You can use it on a character in the story. You can also incorporate aspects of yourself, your love for music, your short temper, your pain when your dog died, or the sense of failure you felt when you divorced your spouse. By applying your own experience to a character, you can take advantage of your inner emotion, of the experience, and translate it to the page to a similar situation the character is facing. Then you can blend characters, say a family member and a friend. For example, your Auntie Mary, who is very social and likes entertaining people in her house, while a friend who is athletic, loves sports, and spends most of her time in the outdoors. The third one is a character you read about in a newspaper or a magazine article, may catch your attention and you ask, what kind of person would do that? You begin to imagine that character you created and her personality and history and ask, what if I add the other dimension I read about in the newspaper or magazine article so that I can spice up her personality? Your task will be to look hard at this character and her situation in order to decide if by adding that other dimension from the article will make the character strong enough to sustain the story. So those are the 3 ways you can draw from your experience to write characters that bring life to your story. Number 2 is reveal emotion, and you do that by using body language, inner sensations, character thoughts. Revealing emotions helps readers to learn more about the characters as they interact with each other. You need to reveal powerful emotions in contrast to normal social behavior. You need to expose admirable traits and ugly manners. Body language, that means physical gestures, can be very powerful in revealing emotions. Readers are keenly responsive to subtle gestures. A slight movement of the body can reveal restlessness. Looking down at the floor may reveal maybe you're ashamed. Burying your face in your hands can mean maybe you are shocked. And even a flicker of an eyelid can say so much. Intense emotions such as grief and anger can be revealed by showing the character fighting back tears or a character opening his mouth, but no sound comes out, maybe because he's so shocked. Inner sensations. These are the sensations that are immediate and uncontrollable reactions. Characters may feel maybe, for example, a sparky heat of arousal or at just at the right touch, that means desire. The spike of a heart rate when a stranger suddenly walks into your home can indicate fear. A cramp that manifests in the gut after noticing a police car in the driveway coming to your house, that makes you feel dread. These sensations are immediate and forceful, and they can be recognized by readers because readers have felt these sensations before. Remember, less is more, because while these sensations are powerful, over-dramatizing them can make them unrealistic. And characters' thoughts. Thoughts are an excellent way to show emotion. For example, worry can have the character jumping to conclusions and imagining worst-case scenario. Doubt can punch holes in the character's confidence, looking for proof that maybe her judgment was wrong and might end up in disaster. It might lead to disaster. So this is the way you reveal emotion, using body language, inner sensations, and character thoughts. Number 3, illogical behavior. You want to make your characters hold a strong opinion about something and then let them act hypocritically in direct contradiction of themselves. For example, a character may feel strongly against drinking alcoholic beverages, but when he finds himself under intense pressure, he starts drinking. Very interesting. Quirks and flaws. Perfect characters are tedious. Remember, people are not perfect. Everyone has their small faults here and there. So you want to give your characters some quirks and flaws. You want to make them feel realistic. So you give them challenging goals, strength, charm, intelligence, and talent, even if they're evil in themselves. Let the character say something off the wall to surprise and fascinate the reader, so that the reader wants to spend time with the character and care about their hopes and fears. Be sure to make the characters distinctive and complex. Now, another way to bring characters to life is to give characters unique voices. Take the time to define each's unique speech patterns, vocabulary, and accent by considering how, when, and where they were raised, as well as their personalities, experiences, and levels of education. But by all means, avoid slang and jargon if you want your book to appeal to a wider audience. 6. Create a complex antagonist. Your crime novel or detective story will benefit from the bad guys who are complicated. Consider that maybe they do what they do because of a love interest. Maybe their twisted view of reality leads them to think they are helping humanity. In real life, bad guys see themselves as the good guys in their own way. Presenting them this way can help raise the stakes in a thriller mystery novel. And the last one is to honor your victims. It is easy to get caught up in advancing the narrative when you're writing crime stories. But it is important to remember that dead bodies aren't just plot devices or story devices. You want to respect your victims and enhance the realism, the emotional impact, and incentive of justice within your crime fiction by exploring the impact of violence on those left behind. Sometimes the victim may not end up as a dead body, but as a survivor. Don't just discard him or her. Redress the impact of his or her grievances, how the ordeal affected her, and how she has moved on. You need to show social justice. I have a quotation here for you. Don't just use visual details, but also include kinesics details on how the character moves: graceful, limping, stutter step, lumbers, waddles, stomps. Darcy Pattison. This is another way of making your characters come alive on the page. Another quotation here. This is one of my favorite quotations. If there is a book that you want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it. Toni Morrison. This is the quotation that inspired me to write the trilogy. I wanted to write a story that was different from anything I have ever read before. I wanted originality. In addition to bringing characters to life while you're writing, I would like to encourage you to inspire yourself to write a real life story. To do that, you need to find an author quotation that inspires you to write. Just as I have this quotation that inspired me to write the Traitor's Trilogy, find your favorite author, find a quotation from her, and use that quotation to inspire you to write a realistic story, a story that reads like reality with real life characters. And if you love music, by all means play that acoustic piece that harmonizes your soul and settles you into writing. I loved classic music, so I played a lot of Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, and Tchaikovsky when I was writing the Traitor's Trilogy books. It made the long hours at the computer bearable. So find your own piece of music that harmonizes you, that gives you the peace to write for hours. And the third one is to find your voice. I'd like you to find your voice and write a thriller that connects with your audience. Get your message out there. And keep in mind that every word you write, put the reader first, not the editor or the publisher, not anyone else but the reader. That is the best way you can create a story that connects with your audience. To wind up now, your task is to use the ideas in this session to bring your characters to life. Create believable and dynamic characters. Good luck.